So you're playing Genshin, you're doing some 10 pulls on the current banner, and while you don't get a 5-star, you do get 4-star Yanfei. Now what do you get with Yanfei besides the best lawyer in all of Liyue? Well, Yanfei is a catalyst wielding Pyro user, and in this video we are going to look at the basics of Yanfei, how her kit works, how her skill works, how her stacking mechanism works. Now I do want to say that if you're watching this video on TikTok, I do cut out a lot of stuff from the TikTok videos that make it into the other videos here. If you are here watching these videos, then go check out the TikTok, follow me there. If you're on TikTok, go to this other place and follow me there, subscribe there, whatever it's called. Okay, let's get into this video. Let's look at the Yanfei that we're using. Yanfei is going to be level 70 out of 70, almost 1700 attack, 93 EM. Her current crit split is going to be 63.3 over 191.2 with 100 energy recharge, 73.6 pyro damage goblet. She is running a Widsith at level 83 for some reason out of 90 R5, 2-piece Crimson, 2-piece Gladiator, Constellation C5, I'm hoping to get C6 on this banner, and then talents 697. Now real quick, let's look at her passives. Her first one, whenever she consumes Scarlet Seals, which is her stacking mechanism, which we'll talk about, by using a charge attack, each one of those Scarlet Seals will increase her pyro damage by 5% until you do another charged attack, or well, for 6 seconds. Second passive, when her charge attack deals a crit hit, she will deal an additional instance of pyro damage equal to 80% of her attack. So we'll see that extra instance whenever we look at her normal attacks. Now, since she is a 4-star, we are also going to look at her constellations. C1, whenever she uses her charge attack, each existing Scarlet Seal reduces the stamina cost of that charge attack by 10%. C2 is going to increase her charge attack's crit rate by 20% against enemies less than 50%. So instead of 60 crit rate, she has 80 on enemies less than 50% HP. Her C3 is going to increase the level of her skill. Her C4 is going to give her a shield whenever you use her burst based on her max HP. C5 is going to increase the level of her burst. And then C6 is going to increase the number of Scarlet Seals by 1. Now, let's go talk about those Scarlet Seals. Also, I keep saying Scarlet Skills, so if I say that and I forget to correct it, just let it go. So now let's go look at how her normal attack, her charge attack, her skill, and her burst work. So her normal attacks, because we're not doing shenanigans, we don't do shenanigans in the basics guide, is going to always deal pyro damage. She is a catalyst user. She does have some range with those with those pyro bolt thingies that she's throwing. Now, when she uses normal attack, you're going to see that it's going to have this Scarlet Seal around Yanfei. And we can get up to 3 of them because she's not C6. Each one of these Scarlet Seals increases the damage of her charged attacks. And we can get them a couple different ways, but one of the ways that we can easily get them is by using her normal attacks. Her charge attack is going to drop this lawyer stamp, I believe, on the enemies dealing a little bit of AoE pyro damage. It doesn't have as far of a range as her normal attacks, but it still has a fair good amount of range. Now, I'm just going to be using normal attacks and charge attacks kind of mixed together right now so you can see the difference in damage that the Scarlet Seals are going to give it. The more Scarlet Seals that we have on Yanfei, the more her charge attack is going to do. Again, like I said, with a max of 3. Now let's look at her skill, and her skill is going to do an instance of AoE pyro damage, but it's also going to immediately give her 3 Scarlet Seals, so we can immediately follow it up with a charged attack. So as you can see, her whole kit goes to her charged attacks, right? Her normal attacks make her charge attack stronger. Her skill immediately makes her charge attacks as strong as it can be, giving all 3 seals. Now her burst is going to do another instance of AoE pyro damage, but it is also going to give her Scarlet Seals periodically. So if we just use 1 normal attack, we have 3 Scarlet Seals, and then we can do a charged attack immediately following that. We can then do another normal attack and have 3 Scarlet Seals again, and do another charged attack. So it's again going back to her charge attack. Also, because she's C4, she is going to have a shield around her. So her entire kit revolves around getting her charged attacks stronger with those Scarlet Seals. Yes, you can use her burst and then use her skill to immediately get the 3 Scarlet, but don't waste it, right? If you use her burst, run through her entire burst, getting as many of those Scarlet Seals as you can. Also, if you swap her off the field, the burst ends, right? She doesn't do off-field pyro damage. So now let's look at a basic artifact set. And with those basic artifacts, I'm going to say like a 2-piece resolution for attack, and then like 2-piece instructor if you're going to run her in a vape team for EM, or 2-piece exile so that way you can get some energy up, so that way you can be using her burst more. Something like that, right? If you're running her in a mono pyro team, then the EM is useless, so I wouldn't use instructor set. I would use like exile to get the energy up. For the main stats, on your sands, attack. On your goblet, pyro, and then on your circlet, crit rate or crit damage, whichever you need more of. Now for weapons, we did run Widzith on her in this, and this is going to be a really, really good option for her. Widzith is a little weird though, where it takes kind of a luck aspect. Whenever you take the field, you either get an increase in attack, an increase in elemental damage, or an increase in EM. If you're running her in a vape team, she can use all 3 of these, a vapor and melt team. If she's not in a vapor and melt team, she can only use 2 out of the 3. Also, if you are using this weapon, then you can get a ton of EM from this. This also does get crit damage, which is going to be really, really good. It means that you're probably going to be using a crit rate circlet. Now, another option is Solar Pearl. This is a Battle Pass weapon, so anybody can get it if you have the Battle Pass, but it works really, really well with her. It gets up crit rate, but also the normal attacks make your skill and burst stronger. Your skill and burst make your normal attacks stronger, which increases the damage of your charge attacks as well. You also have Mappa Mar, which is a craftable weapon. It's going to get up EM, but its passive is really good. Triggering an elemental reaction will increase her pyro damage bonus by 8% times 2 at R1. So this can get a lot of extra pyro damage over to Yanfei if you do this weapon. Run it in a vape or a melt team though. So in the next video, we are going to talk more about teams with Yanfei, and I think that Yanfei could also fit with Emily if you do get Emily, which I hope to get Emily, because I really, really want to use her. Also, I love the Dendro character, so like I'm going to get her and I'm going to run her. But Yanfei could slot in really, really well. You want a lot of pyro in a team with Emily, and Yanfei does a lot of pyro. Yanfei's kind of like a 4-star Klee a little, but not really. Yanfei is also a little bit more smoother to play to me than Klee. Now the team going on behind me is actually my Dia team, where I just put Yanfei in for a hot second so that way she could run it and kind of see what she could do. And in this, she actually does hit like 80 something K, which is crazy to me that Yanfei can hit that at level 70. But my wife also mains Yanfei, and she uses Yanfei with Chevy, and then 2 Electro characters, and it actually works out really, really well. So we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Emily a little bit, even though I can't really show you. We're still going to talk about how she could work in that team, and then we're going to do a little bit deeper dive on this team kind of behind me. Now that is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, do be sure to leave it down in the comments. Myself or somebody will be sure to answer it, and I'll see you in the next one.